Howdy everybody, Benjamin Ross, TorchLight Security Bulletin, April 27, 2026, coming at you with an urgent message today that in the last week in our Security Operations Center, we've seen more successful attacks than we've seen in the last 45 days combined. And we've seen a massive increase in email spam volume too. So volume has increased and the number of successes that the bad guys have had increased last week. So what are we seeing? We're seeing two kinds of emails. The spoof and the impersonation emails, and the phishing emails. Both were successful last week. So what are some things that you can do to prevent this from happening, right? Number one is obviously awareness. It was the C-suite that got pinched last week. It wasn't the production line level employees, it's the C-suite. The C-suite, you are under attack. CEOs, CFOs, COOs, and anybody working in finance, you are under attack and you are a target. What can you do to stop this? Number one, I think the Nigerian Prince emails, those are gone. They're too simple. They're not coming back. To spot the typo, the accuracy is too high. And in fact, I dare say the irony in all of this is that if you see a typo in an email, that means it's probably legitimate or authentic, right? Secondly, monitoring. EDR, which is on your computer, ITDR, which monitors your identity in the cloud for real-time access. If there's impossible travel, like you log in New York City at 8 a.m. and then you're in Munich, Germany 2 hours later through a login, that's impossible travel. That monitoring is going to catch that, lock them out, and get you back up and running, right? DMARC monitoring is an important aspect of email at the very beginning. It's core infrastructure to your email. And as part of DNS, so you have DKIM, SPF, and then DMARC. So you have to have three elements of your DNS to ensure email security, and DMARC is usually the last element, and that prevents spoofing of your email, like CEO being spoofed to the finance, need you to ACH this money out ASAP, please do it, don't even call, think about it. You know, that sense of urgency type email blast, that DMARC is going to stop that. Phishing resistant two-factor authentication is another critical tool. Like SMS via two-factor authentication via SMS is not true two-factor authentication. Well, now phishing resistant 2FA involves your phone, usually a bio, either your thumbprint or your face, and then you have to put in a number. You can't share that number. So phishing resistant 2FA, if you've never heard about it, it's the next big thing that will help prevent the bad guys from being successful. And then final thought here, the C-suite, CEOs, CFOs, COOs, you're the one being attacked. This is now up to you. Security awareness training matters, not just for your line employees, but for you too. And doing one big monolithic training a year does not work. The bad guys are moving too fast. AI is changing too quickly for you to go into a room on January 2nd and say you're good for the rest of 2026. You must be doing security awareness training on a regular basis, ideally weekly, for 2 to 4 minutes. And on top of that, that must be supplemented by phishing simulations too. Testing your team with simulated emails that will make sure that they're paying attention and they're following the right best practices to prevent breach. But I'll say one more time, C-suite, this is you. You're the one being attacked. Those were the folks I dealt with last week, right? You can no longer operate with a false sense of security. You're on the front lines of this battle. Thanks for taking the time to watch. We appreciate it. Have a good day and be safe out there.